What if a secret agreement, made centuries ago beside a dark river, still controls the fate of an entire community today? The Black River Pact isn't just history. It's a mystery that's never been fully solved, and its shadows might be closer to us than you think. What if a secret agreement made centuries ago beside a dark, winding river still shapes lives today? A pact so powerful that it binds people's fates in ways they might never fully understand. This is the story of the Black River Pact. Not just an old piece of history, but a living mystery, one filled with hidden promises, shadowy deals, and consequences that ripple through time. Today, we're going to dive deep into that pact, where it began, who was involved, what it really means, and why it still matters, even now. So, get ready to uncover secrets that have stayed buried for generations, because some deals are never meant to be broken. The story of the Black River Pact begins centuries ago, in a time when the world was much different, when small villages clung to the edges of wild forests, and rivers weren't just waterways, but lifelines. Back then, the Black River wasn't just a river. It was a boundary, a dividing line between rival clans, territories, or even kingdoms. It marked danger, power, and mystery. Legend says that one harsh winter, two groups found themselves locked in conflict. Food was scarce, and distrust ran deep. Violence was about to break out. But then, in the shadow of the river's dark waters, leaders from both sides met in secret. They made a pact, a promise, to stop the bloodshed and protect their people. This wasn't just any agreement. It was sealed with rituals, symbols, and words meant to last beyond lifetimes. A pact designed to bind not only those leaders, but their descendants, forever. They called it the Black River Pact. Some say the pact was written in blood. Others believe it was engraved on a hidden stone, somewhere along the riverbank, a secret known only to those sworn to protect it. Whatever the truth, that moment changed everything. The river became more than a boundary. It became a symbol of trust, power, and a warning. From that day forward, the pact shaped alliances, rivalries, and the fate of everyone living near the Black River. And though centuries have passed, its story is far from over. Now that we know how the Black River Pact began, let's dive into what this mysterious agreement actually involved. What exactly did those leaders promise that cold day by the river? And why has the pact held so much power for so long? The terms of the pact were unlike any ordinary treaty. They weren't written on paper or signed with ink. Instead, the pact was sealed with symbols, rituals, and a code that only a select few could understand. First, the leaders agreed to protect the river, not just as a natural resource, but as a sacred boundary. No one was allowed to cross without permission. Breaking this rule wasn't just disrespect, it meant breaking the pact itself, which carried severe consequences. Second, the pact included a promise of mutual protection. Both groups swore to defend each other from outside threats, enemies beyond the river, or anyone trying to disturb their fragile peace. But here's where things get darker. The pact demanded secrecy above all else. The exact terms and rituals had to be kept hidden from outsiders. Sharing the pact's secrets was considered a betrayal, punishable by exile or worse. There are rumors of a ceremony held in the dead of night involving fire and strange symbols carved into stones along the riverbank. Some say this ritual bound the pact with a supernatural force, a curse or blessing that ensured loyalty. One particular clause mentioned a keeper of the pact, a person chosen from each group to guard the pact's secrets and enforce its rules through generations. These keepers were said to possess a unique mark or token, a symbol of their sacred duty. What makes the Black River Pact so intriguing is that it was more than just words. It was a living agreement passed down through families, whispered in secret meetings, and remembered in stories. And over time, the pact became woven into the very identity of the people who lived near the river. It shaped their customs, their fears, and their sense of community. But what happened when someone dared to break the pact? That's where legends of curses, mysterious disappearances, and strange events began to surface, stories that only deepened the mystery. So, while the exact terms remain shrouded in secrecy, the Black River Pact's power came from its ability to bind people not just legally, but spiritually and socially. In the next section, we'll explore how this pact influenced the lives of everyone living along the Black River, shaping alliances, rivalries, and even the course of history. The Black River Pact wasn't just a secret agreement made by a few leaders. It became the invisible thread weaving through the lives of everyone living near the river. For generations, the pact influenced everything from daily life to deep-rooted beliefs in the communities on both sides of the Black River. First, the pact created a fragile peace. Rival clans or families who once eyed each other with suspicion had to find ways to coexist. The river, once a battlefield, transformed into a guarded boundary, a line that both divided and connected. People began to respect the river not just as water, but as a sacred symbol, the very heart of their identity and survival. This respect wasn't just about peace, it shaped their customs and traditions. Festivals, stories, and even local laws grew around the pact's promise. Elders would recount tales of the original leaders and the night the pact was sealed, reminding younger generations that breaking the agreement would bring disaster. But peace came with a price. Because the pact demanded secrecy, mistrust grew toward outsiders. Strangers were eyed warily, and anyone asking too many questions about the river or the pact was quickly shut down. This protective mindset helped the communities survive through harsh times, wars, famine, and political unrest. But it also isolated them. Beyond the social impact, the pact shaped economic life. The river controlled trade routes and fishing rights. Those who respected the pact prospered. Those who ignored it faced sanctions or exile. There are even stories about people who tried to cross the river without permission, their boats mysteriously capsizing or vanishing, reinforcing the pact's grip on the land. Over time, some families gained prestige as keepers of the pact's secrets, becoming powerful figures in local politics and social life. But not everyone agreed with the pact's power. Conflict didn't disappear completely. There were betrayals and struggles as some sought to break free from the pact's hold, to challenge old traditions or claim control over the river for themselves. These tensions gave rise to legends of curses, hauntings, and mysterious disappearances, stories whispered around fires, warning of what happens when the pact is broken. Despite all this, the Black River Pact held strong, a silent force shaping how people lived, loved, and fought for centuries. It was more than just a rule, it was a legacy. And that legacy would influence key figures, leaders, rebels, and ordinary people, whose stories we'll explore next. Every great story has its heroes and villains. The Black River Pact is no different. Throughout history, certain individuals stood out, those whose lives were deeply intertwined with the pact's power and mystery. Let's meet some of these key figures. First, there was Elias Thorne, one of the original leaders who helped forge the pact. Known as a fierce but fair man, Elias was respected for his wisdom and strength. He believed the pact was the only way to save his people from endless war. His commitment set the tone for future generations, a reminder that sometimes peace demands sacrifice. Then there was Mara Gray, a mysterious keeper of the pact from a later century. Few knew her true story, but legends say she possessed the sacred token, a carved black stone said to hold the pact's power. Mara was said to have prevented several breaches of the pact by negotiating with rival factions and protecting the secrets from outsiders. Some say she even used clever tricks to maintain the fragile peace when words failed. On the darker side, there's Jonas Crow, a man who dared to break the pact. His ambition and greed led him to challenge the ancient rules, attempting to control the river and its secrets for his own gain. According to stories, his defiance unleashed a series of mysterious tragedies, forcing his family into exile. Jonas's story serves as a warning about the dangers of breaking the sacred trust. But not all were leaders or rebels. Many ordinary people also played crucial roles, like the river guides who silently upheld the pact by ensuring no unauthorized crossings, or the village elders who passed down the stories and traditions that kept the pact alive. Each of these figures, whether celebrated or cursed, helped shape the pact's legacy. Their decisions, sacrifices, and secrets made the Black River Pact more than just an agreement. It became a living part of the community's identity. Their stories remind us that behind every mystery are real people, with hopes, fears, and choices that echo through time. Next, we'll explore how the Black River Pact influenced larger events, wars, politics, and maybe even supernatural happenings that stretched far beyond the riverbanks. The Black River Pact wasn't just a local agreement, its influence reached far beyond the banks of the river. Over time, this secret pact played a surprising role in shaping bigger events, from regional conflicts to political power struggles, and even tales whispered as supernatural legends. One major way the pact shaped history was through its role in regional wars and alliances. The peace it enforced along the river allowed neighboring groups to focus their attention elsewhere. Sometimes, the pact acted as a hidden truce, preventing battles that could have engulfed entire regions. In other cases, it forced rival factions to unite against common enemies, strengthening alliances that changed the course of wars. But the pact also created tensions beyond the river. Because it controlled access to key trade routes and resources, powerful leaders outside the region saw the pact as a threat or an obstacle. Some tried to undermine it, while others sought to control it for their own gain. Political figures, both local and distant, knew that whoever held influence over the Black River Pact controlled more than just land. They held power over people's loyalties and futures. Beyond politics and war, there are stories hinting at a more mysterious side to the pact. Some say the pact was tied to supernatural forces, that the rituals used to seal it called on powers beyond human understanding. There are tales of unexplained events, strange lights over the river, voices in the night, and sudden storms that seemed to protect the pact's secrets. Whether fact or folklore, these stories added a layer of fear and respect, making the pact not just a legal bond, but a spiritual one. The Black River Pact's reach in these larger events shows us it was more than a simple promise. It was a force shaping history, quietly behind the scenes, influencing who rose and fell, who fought and who survived. Next, we'll see how the pact continues to echo into modern times, long after those original leaders have passed. Centuries have passed since the Black River Pact was first sealed, but its influence hasn't disappeared. In fact, its legacy still echoes in the lives of people living near the river today. While the original rituals and secret ceremonies may have faded into legend, the idea of the pact remains strong, woven into local culture, stories, and even everyday behavior. Some communities still respect the old boundaries along the river, treating it with a sense of reverence passed down through generations. Fishermen, farmers, and residents often talk about the unwritten rules that seem to guide how they live and interact. There are also modern rumors of secret groups or families who claim to be the descendants of the original pact keepers. They are said to guard ancient artifacts or documents related to the pact, ensuring its secrecy in a world that's grown noisy and fast. In some towns, festivals and gatherings celebrate the river's history, hinting at the pact without fully revealing its mysteries. These events keep the story alive, connecting people to their roots and to each other. But the pact's presence isn't always peaceful. Occasionally, disputes arise over land, water rights, or local authority disputes that some say are echoes of the old pact's tensions. And for those who dig deeper, the Black River Pact still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Researchers, historians, and even treasure hunters have tried to unravel its mysteries, searching for hidden documents, artifacts, or signs of the original pact's rituals. The pact has also inspired stories, books, and legends, showing how powerful a single secret agreement can be when it captures the imagination. Ultimately, the Black River Pact reminds us that history isn't just in books or museums. It lives in the places we inhabit, in the traditions we follow, and sometimes in the secrets we keep. As we move toward the final sections, we'll explore the theories and mysteries that still surround the pact, questions that keep this story alive. Even after centuries, the Black River Pact remains wrapped in mystery. Its true nature is still debated by historians, locals, and curious minds alike. One popular theory suggests the pact wasn't just a political agreement, but a binding supernatural contract. Some believe the original leaders called on ancient powers to protect the pact, giving it a life beyond words on paper. This might explain the strange events reported along the river: sudden storms, ghostly figures, or unexplained disappearances. Others think the pact was a clever power play. Instead of magic, the secrecy and rituals were designed to create fear and respect, keeping rival groups in line without open conflict. Then there's the question of the hidden artifacts: secret stones, scrolls, or tokens said to hold clues to the pact's true meaning. Treasure hunters and historians have searched for these, but none have been found yet. Some locals even whisper about a curse tied to the pact, that those who break its rules face terrible consequences, from bad luck to mysterious vanishings. But the biggest mystery of all? Why, after all this time, does the pact still hold such power over the people and land near the Black River? Is it history, fear, tradition, or something more? These unanswered questions keep the story alive, inviting new generations to search for the truth. The Black River Pact is more than just a story from the past. It's a reminder that some secrets never truly fade away. They live on in the places we call home, in the traditions we follow, and in the mysteries that spark our curiosity. Whether it's an ancient agreement, a powerful symbol, or a hidden curse, the pact shows us how history, power, and belief can shape communities for centuries. What do you think? Is the Black River Pact just a legend, or could there be some truth still buried beneath the surface? If you enjoyed diving into this mystery with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to uncover more stories that connect us to the past, and maybe even to the unknown. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep asking questions, because every mystery deserves to be explored. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.